Hello everyone, this is Alessandro and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to talk about a dog walk cycle. In general, animate a walk cycle for a quadruped can be very difficult for the first time. So I decided guys to show you how to split the cycle in two parts so it can be easy to understand for you. As you can see here on the reference, I draw with the grease pencil the main key poses for the leg, okay? The first thing I want you to understand guys before we approach this walk cycle is that we can split this animation in two different walk cycles, the back one and the front one, okay? So let's focus on the back one first. So as you can see here, we are having like the classic contact pose, then here we are having the down pose, then we are going with the pass position, up position, and then again the contact position, okay? So you can think of this as a simple biped walk cycle, nothing different. Now we're going to do the same with the front walk cycle. But what is the difference? Well, the only difference is that at the moment, the front walk cycle have a delay of about 3 frames compared to the back walk cycle. So for example, when here is already on the contact pose, here is still on the up pose. And now if you're looking here, you're having the contact pose on the front, then again the down pose, passing position, up position, and then again on the contact. So it's exactly the same. Of course, here you have a bigger clavicle movement, and we're going to discuss this later, but more or less it's still the same. So basically you can break it up in two different walk cycles, having this one first and this one being offset about 3 frames, okay guys? Nothing too complicated. Having this concept in mind, you're going to see that it's not very difficult to handle the animation now. Before we are jumping into the animation, I would like to recommend you guys to study a human walk cycle, okay? Because if you're going to do that, of course it's going to be much easier to tackle an animation like this one. One thing I want to say guys before we start with the actual animation is that as you can see from the front view, I pull actually those legs close to each other, okay, just so they're not too spread, and same with the back one, just a tiny bit, okay? So you will have this kind of nice diagonal line of action on the front leg as well. So let's start now with the back leg. So it depends on the rigs that your guys are using. You might have different controller to move the feet. Some of them will have the controller right here, some of them on the channel box, so it's up to you. I'm gonna push this one a bit higher. So for now guys, we're gonna focus only on the leg and not on the hip. Okay, for this one. Okay, try to adjust this as best as I can. So you kind of want to have this reverse angle on the foot, okay? And then you can still push this one a tiny bit forward, okay? The heel. I think we can push those one a bit forward as well. So now we're going to the passing position. Okay. So as you can see right now, I'm not touching the hip as well, or the spine. It's something we're gonna do later. Okay, we are going to the up position. It's exactly the same, guys, like as I mentioned before, as a walk cycle for a biped, okay? Treat it the same way. And here we are having the other contact position, okay? And actually in this case we can just copy this one here. Okay. And having this one right back. You can always check the position of both leg at the end of the cycle. So again, this one we're gonna okay. heel. Okay, and then we can push this one back a little bit more. Raising the heel again. Oh, something got broken here. Let's see what it is. Okay. With this one, then we can push it a bit forward. Okay, trying to adjust the spacing. We can do the same. You know, sometimes it's just about readjusting. You see how the leg is kind of straight here? Okay. Maybe we can push. Look at the line between the foot and the knees, okay? It's almost the same. Pushing it back. We can push it forward for the up position. Then again, we can push it like this. And here we can push this one back. And then at the very end, we can copy all those keys towards the end. Okay, now if we are moving it slowly, we can see we have a simple walk cycle. Let's adjust the tangent in the graph editor, guys. And now the next thing I want to adjust the spacing, okay? Okay, we can. As you can see here, there is kind of a mistake. You want to continue the value to move on. Okay, I can adjust them a little bit to have a little bit an easy out. Anytime you raise the foot, guys, I always want to have a little bit of side movement. So from here, I want the foot moving a little bit on the left side and then going back to the center, okay? Nothing too crazy. So if you take a look slowly, it's moving on the side and then closing back, okay? Now we're gonna do exactly the same. Okay, can adjust the tangent a tiny bit. Here you want to move it a little bit on the side, and then here, closing it back. Now it's time to move to the up and down hip, okay? We're gonna start here, going down, okay? I know here the timing is a bit different, but we're gonna change it later, because right now I want to have a first pass with all the control action are key at the same time, and then we can shift it later. Then on the passing position, the hip is going up. On the up position, this is the point where, that's why it's called up, because the hip is reaching the top, the highest point. And here actually we are copy paste, you know, the movement here. Okay, and actually you can just, since we just work on the on the up and down on the y-axis, we can copy those value and paste them here. Okay, because right now we just focus on the up and down of, okay. Again, we're going to the graph editor and make sure everything is clean. Okay, and those are gonna shift them down. So usually in the contact position I want to have a little bit higher, so there's like a major contrast when here is going down. Okay, now we're gonna adjust the rotation. Since it's a loop, I'm gonna select the both keys for the first and last frame. So guys, for the Y rotation, basically the hip is following the leg that is forward. In this case, you know, the right leg. And then I'm gonna go to the other contact position, and I go to the opposite, okay? And now we're gonna adjust the breakdown. So usually I'm gonna have a nice easy in here. So this is the part where it's snapping the most. You see? This is the part. And then again here, there's a nice easy in. Okay. So it's not that even, okay guys? Just to give you an idea, it's basically towards the end, okay, from the up position to the contact, where you can feel the major gap, okay guys, in the rotation. You already feel like I start to feel nicer. Now it's time to move to the z-axis, guys. Something I want you to understand very clearly is that during the down position, okay, the hip is gonna flip this direction because it's supporting the weight on this leg, and so it's going up on the supporting leg and going down to the other leg. So you will have like a major movement here in the down position. Then in the up position, sorry, in the passing position, you're gonna continue with this movement, okay? Then during the up position, you're starting to go back to the original value, okay? Here during the contact, you still wanted to have like kind of close to the up position, and again to the down, you're gonna snap it into the other one, okay? And then again, passing position, okay? And now you can look at the intensity. Now, of course, this two needs to be linear. Now we're gonna do the rotation on the X. Okay. Usually during the down position, the butt is going tilted down, and here is tilted up. It is going down. Again for the down position. And again up here, and this one we're gonna make them continuous. So now we're having a movement on the hip that is involving all three axes, okay, for the rotation. And now we can do a little bit of X translation as well. And again, okay. Now for the front part, I want to show you a different approach. So this time instead we are going to start with the hip, and then we are going to do individually every single leg. So as we know here, we are starting with a passing position, and then here we have in the contact, which is the body going a little bit lower. Then we are having a down position here, keep going lower. Then we are having a passing position again, and then we can copy again here the remaining part. Okay, this is because we only did the y-axis. So again, here is the top, okay, this is the up position. Then we're having the contact, down, passing maybe could be a little bit higher. Now we know this is gonna be the extreme, where the shoulder, let's call it shoulder for now, are following the front leg right here, okay? And here is gonna be the opposite, okay? And again, we can go to the graph editor. We know here from the previous one the snap is kind of happening at the end. Again, the same here, we can reduce it a tiny bit. Okay, and here we can have continuous movement. Here is supporting this leg. Okay, the weight supporting this other leg as well. Okay, and let's go here. It's reducing it. And on the down position is going up here. Then we are having here. Okay. Basically, we're doing the same things that we did for the back leg, okay, and the hip. So let's take a look at the X rotation. You see the X rotation is kinda different here because it's counterbalancing the head movement that I always wanted to be straight. So from the up position to the contact position, the head is actually going up, tilted up. And again, continue to move up a little bit. Then slowly down, okay. Again, very slowly. And again, like this, and this one needs to make it shorter. Okay. Sorry, I have to adjust it a little bit. And now again, during the up position here, the body shifted this direction a tiny bit. Then we're having the contact, still a bit here. Then we have the down position going to the opposite direction. Then the up position. Again, the down position. Now that the upper span is done, we're going to move on the front leg. Again, this time we're going to use a different approach. So first of all, I'm going to do the cycle only for this leg, and then I'm going to do the other one, okay? So for the up position, we're going to use the leg like this, okay? We are having the down position, passing position here, up position again, okay, I have to adjust it a little bit. This is the contact position, and we're gonna do I'm gonna move this one over here. And then we're gonna copy this one here. So we're gonna go in the graph editor now and adjust this. Okay, see here is a little bit more forward, the foot. If you take a look at if you study the reference. Okay, so here, see guys, there's a problem. Here it looks like the graph editor is wrong, but if you actually look, the animation is fine, okay? Because there is a rotation involved as well. That's why actually it's not as clean as it's supposed to be. So even if the graph editor doesn't look that nice, we will still let it slide, guys. Now it's time to adjust the shoulder, okay? First of all, because it's the other shoulder supporting the leg here, this one can be actually lower and going forward, okay? I'm gonna copy the same key here. And we can see how forward is going here, the shoulder. And here is actually the other extreme when the shoulder is going down, okay? Now, the thing that we're gonna adjust now is the up and down on the shoulder. I'm gonna snap the shoulder up. Here is going again up again. Again here up. Here still a bit up again. And here started to go down. See now, as you can see, how the shoulder movement, how the shoulder blade is going up, you know, during that transition. Okay, so we're gonna adjust this one. Okay, and we can reduce a little bit the gap because it was a bit too much, okay? And of course, guys, as usual, once you understand how the mechanic works, it's up to you how you want to tweak it or exaggerate it, okay, guys? As you notice, I repeat the same step for the other leg, okay? Nothing too complicated. If you understand the body mechanics by now, you should understand it more or less, as I mentioned before, this is just like a normal walk cycle, even from the front leg, okay? Now though, it's time to adjust a little bit the spine, you know, to make sure it shapes correctly. And what I did here, guys, create some major keys, starting from the reference, the compression of the spine, and the up movement, okay? So on the first frame, we want to kind of emphasize the shape in here, okay? This kind of round shape. And as you can see, this is the bottom frame where actually the spine gets compressed. And again, here is going back up. By the way, we can copy this frame here towards the end. And here is kind of going down almost flat in here. Okay. Let's see. So if we notice now, we improve a little bit the line of action on the spine. Another thing I want to mention, we have to take care of the line of action here on the side as well. So during a momentum like this, we want to have like the spine push in this direction. And here we went towards this side, okay? So it's not static all the time. I think we need to adjust the snap here. Okay. Okay, so now it's a little bit softer, the line of action in the spine. It was already good, you know, once you animate the hip and the, let's call it shoulder area at the moment. And, you know, it's already have a nice line of action, but with this you can control it even better. Now it's time to adjust the neck a little bit, okay guys? So usually I put like a key at the end of every cycle, okay, every step. Starting from here, I kind of want to shift the head more to the center, okay, and do the opposite with the other one. So make sure to kind of, you know, because the shoulder are kind of shifting left to right, so you want to make sure the head kind of stays in the middle a little bit, okay. So if we observe the last step, you notice like how the head is gonna going up here and then dropping down. So we can raise it like up a tiny bit and then going down. Nothing too drastic for the head. You don't need a lot of movement actually. And then kind of do the same here. Okay. Can kind of reduce it a tiny bit. Okay, make sure you adjust it. We're going to refine the animation on every foot right now, okay? So for example here, okay, I wanna go up a little bit. You see the foot kinda snap at the last moment, okay? It does this kinda snap at the very end. And then kind of drag a little bit. Okay. We're gonna do the same now with the front leg. Okay. And as you can see guys, there is a pop in here. We're gonna fix it. Okay, we're gonna use this controller to adjust it. Okay, and now it's fixed. I notice there is another pop in here, in this part over here. Over here. Okay, we have to adjust all three values here. Okay, you can adjust this one as well. Now that we fix animation, it's time to loop our cycle, okay guys? So we're gonna go here, copy, paste it, and do the same here, right? One thing I forgot to mention guys, I add a little bit of extra rotation offsetting from the neck to the head just to keep that a little bit more bouncy, nothing drastic. So one thing I want you to check guys, anytime we do like a cycle and you're trying to loop it, always check into the tangent here in the graph editor. Okay, especially when at the beginning and at the end of the cycle you have the tangent like linear like here. You want to make sure that nothing is going on here in the middle. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is just checking every tangent right here. Okay. And the same here, guys. Okay, those are some of the examples that you wanna fix when you're cleaning your work cycle. And I want you to do, guys, for all the controls that are loopable, like the hip, the shoulder, the head, and the foot, all the controls that we check, guys. Okay, guys, if you have done everything correctly, your animation should look like something like this. So far the animation look like nice and smooth, guys. The body mechanic is quite solid. And again, guys, this is just a tutorial to show the basic for a walk cycle for a quadruped, okay? Nothing too sophisticated. Usually if you have a more complex rig, you can definitely do things a little bit more advanced, especially on the foot compression and things like that. There are many things that you can tweak and make it look better. But I guess for the purpose of this tutorial, it's good enough. If you guys have any question or any requests for any future tutorial that you want me to do, drop it in the comment. I'll consider to do a tutorial about it. Hope you guys are having a great week and see you next time. Ciao!